Now before we put the oil pan on, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take, ignore this here, it's just my fill bottle. We're gonna take some of our break-in oil and we're gonna pour it in the pickup tube for the oil pump. The goal behind this is to get oil down into the oil pump, and we're gonna prime the oil pump by rotating the engine. When we rotate the engine, what we're looking for is oil coming out of one of these ports. When they come out of the ports, we know that the pump's got oil in it. And when you're rotating the engine over, at first startup, we know that the pump's not going to have to struggle to prime, that it's already primed. There we go. Now we have oil coming out. So now our pump is primed. Just catch this fluid falling out for the time being. And now we're going to install our oil pan. Of course, before I started the video, I went ahead and cleaned these surfaces. And we're going to clean the surfaces of the oil pan. It's been, ever since I cleaned it, it's been sitting waiting. Make sure get any dust, dirt, whatever out of it. It's pretty well clean. Blow it for good measure. We're going to have to do this the same way. We're going to have to apply a bead of sealer all the way around on the oil pan. Get this over here so you can see a little better. The object is to try to get about an 1/8" bead. Sometimes it comes out a little bit bigger. As long as you cover these surfaces, it should be fine. Circle the bolt holes. Kind of like applying icing to a cake, if you've ever done that. Start over here. Make sure we get plenty. Because what? We do not want any leaks at all. If we have some squirting out the side, hey, that's perfectly fine. Just leave it. It does not hurt a thing. That way you know the entire mating surface is covered. Okay. Got our sealer. So let me back the camera out a little bit. Just take our oil pan and just gently lower it down, line up the bolt holes. Line them up at the front. And just work your way back, lining them up by side. And place it down. We got it down on there. Now we just need to apply the bolts. Alright, I put the oil pan bolts and started them, put them in. I'm going to run them down with the speed handle just to save a little time on the video. We have a torque sequence, also multiple torque sequences we have to go through on the pan. I did a little bit different on the 11-12 video. Had to do it with the engine right side up. So I decided to go ahead and do it like this as we're building. You have 3 different kinds of bolts on this oil pan. You have the standard size, like this one here I'm tightening. You have a long bolt here in the very back. And then you have 2 small, short bolts that go through the pan into the rear main seal plate cover. And they all get different torques, of course. You got to be careful to go through the sequence correctly. It's easy to get fouled up on it. Okay, I'm going to start off going to hit number 10, 11, 13, and 14 bolts. So 10 is here, 11's on the opposite corner, let's see, 13 is up in the front corner, 14 is up in the other corner. And they want those at 27 inch-pounds, which is not a whole lot. So, we'll break out the little bitty one. Set it for 27. Just registering on this torque wrench. Barely. Probably won't even be able to feel it when you torque it. Get an extension here. It's 10, 11. I mean, you could just barely feel it. And 14. All right. 1 through 9, 11 through 14 is 177 inch-pounds. So we're going to go back Probably gonna have to have extension on this one as well. Alright. 1 through 9, 11 through 14. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is here in the center of the pan. 2 is the third one up from the rear on the opposite side. Three with the third one up from the opposite side. 4 is going to be dead center. 5, third one back on the opposite side. 6, next to back on the opposite side. 7, next to back on the opposite side. 8, third one back. 9, second one back. 11, which is the back one here. And we'll go 12, which is this one here. $13, which is up front. $14, which is up front. Now we're going to tighten bolts 15 and 16 to 89. 15, 16 of the little ones. Then we're going to tighten bolt 10, which is the long one, to 177. Now we've got to go back and do on 1 through 9, 11 through 14, 45 degrees. So, number 1. Clear. Number 2. It'll be the camera. Okay. Clear. So number 3. Third one up. Number 4, dead center, opposite side. Five, third one back. 6 will be next to the last one on this side. 7. Next one in the back. 8. Third one back on this side. 9 is going to be next, second one back. Okay, got to go to 11. Is the very back one on this side. 12 is going to be second one back here. 13 will be front one. 14 front one. Okay. We're going to do 15 and number 16, which is the two small ones in the back, 45 degrees. Okay. And that last bolt is 90 degrees. Bolt number 10. Okay. Now we have the oil pan installed and torqued correctly. And I didn't show it to you, but I'll show you the torque sequences. There's for the first 4 bolts. And here's the torque sequence for the remainder of the pan and the instructions. Alright, pan's installed, ready to go to the next item. Okay, our next procedure, we're going to install the new fuel rails and the heads. I found that it's more cost effective just to go ahead and buy the fuel rails complete with the injectors. You got the seals, O-rings. Look up O-ring and seal kit for these things. You'll see what I'm talking about. And then, you know, if you don't replace your injectors, you're still stuck with old injectors that possibly are not firing correctly. Plus you get a new wiring harness with these. I think it's a really good deal, so that's why I pick them up and just install new ones when I build an engine. So first thing, we're gonna put a little spray silicone on the tips. Just make it a little easier to press in, install without tearing the seals. So we're gonna line them up, make sure they go in their holes correctly. Notice where your bolts go, line up with the heads. There's only one way that they'll go on. Press down best you can. You're not gonna be able to press them all the way in normally. I got them pretty much down. Now we're gonna install the bolts. And we're gonna torque them to 89 inch-pounds, then 45 degrees. Sometimes I don't do the 45 degrees. I think 89 inch-pounds is enough, but we'll go ahead and do it per the book. Like I said previously, it's a lot easier to install the fuel rails before you put the heads on, because you have very limited room with the installed heads on the block. But I realize sometimes you guys may have to change injectors out while the heads are in the vehicle, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It is a pain, but it can be done. So 89 inch-pounds. We have a torque sequence we've got to go by, and this is it right here. Pretty simple. So we'll go with one. Two. Three. Down a little bit more. Four. 5. And 6. We'll do our 45 degrees. Put it down so it can calibrate. Right, start with 1. Clear. 2. Clear. 3. Clear. 4. Clear. 5. Clear. And 6. Alright, we've got that one installed. I've already got the bottom of the head clean, so I can go ahead and install it on the engine. see if we can get this other one done like it is on the table. Maybe it'll lined up. If we can push it down in. There we go. Same thing, put our bolts in. I'm doing this, I should give you a backstory on this engine. And what I'll do when I get it complete, I'll go ahead and come back and give you a backstory on it, just so you'll know what all's happened. This particular engine is a customer of mine. Contacted me through my YouTube channel. Interested in getting his truck repaired. He bought it and didn't get to drive it very far. So I went out to crank it one morning and all it would do was turn over. We had several people look at it. They did everything they could think of, check compression, which it had none whatsoever. They installed, or they pulled the computer out, installed another one thinking the computer went bad, which it didn't. Contacted me, said I was interested in finding out what's wrong with it and go from there, which I did. He brought it up to me from Lake Charles, Louisiana. When he shipped it up here, made arrangements for it, knew he was pretty serious wanting to get this truck back on the road. So we worked out a plan and then went after it. Needless to say, I know how he feels. Get a vehicle brand new, or it's brand new to you. You buy a used vehicle and then it conks out right after you buy it. It's quite frustrating. I won't get into the details of what he's got in it. But it kind of sounded like he was kind of swindled a little bit. And I don't like that. That's kind of why I do my videos. I don't like to see people swindled. The people that sold him his truck kind of did a patch job on it and didn't really do a good job on it, patch job at all. We don't know what turbochargers it had on it originally, but when they replaced them, they put some eBay or Amazon turbochargers on, and it was a complete hack job. And they were not installed correctly. They were installed in the vehicle, which I firmly believe is a no-no. You run into more problems installing them in the vehicle than you do just pull the engine out and fix the whole thing. At this point, let's go ahead and install the heads on the block, and I'll continue that story. Okay, I've got the engine block mating surfaces clean. I've got the new head gaskets in place. I've got the mating surfaces on the head clean. So now what we're going to do is gently put the heads on the block. And what we need to do is line up the dowels in the block with the head. And put it down on there like that. Same thing with the next one. Line up the dowel. And with the back one. And there we are. Both heads are on there. Now we just need to get our head bolts and put them in. And do our torquing. And when you put these in, you want to make absolutely sure that none of these wires are pinched between the rails or in the head, between the heads, which they're not. Everything fit on there just perfectly. So let's get our bolts. Here are our head bolts. Now I guess you can call them pre-lube because the inside this bag is quite oily. So instead of lubricating them, I'm just going to go ahead and put them in. These are brand new Ford bolts. Come with the upper head or upper gasket kit that you can order. This time we're not using ARP bolts. I'm going to use the Ford torque to yield bolts to reduce cost for our customer. This is, it's not going to see any higher boost or any racing or anything like that. These work out, and they work out just fine for this application. Now, of course, if you're deciding you're going to go ahead and put bigger turbos on or run a higher boost, then by all means, go ahead and get the ARP stud kit and go ahead and install it. It's just another measure of safety, a little bit of peace of mind. For our needs, for our customer needs, these work just fine, and it cuts down the cost to about $300 or so, which would normally the cost of these ARP studs. So I'm going to run these down. Nope. Just going to run them down to where they cut. I was saying about our customers, they took the truck and they took the original or whatever turbochargers were on the truck off and put some aftermarket or basically some eBay, Amazon turbochargers on it. And when they did it inside the vehicle, while the engine's in the vehicle, they really did a crap job. I mean, they really hacked it to death. Everything they took off, when they put it back on, they smeared RTV all over the mating surfaces. Everything from the valve covers all the way around to the oiling tubes, the coolant tubes, everything had, I mean, even these tubes here for the spark plugs, everything had RTV smeared all over it. In the head, in the valve covers, all over the place. And that is a no-no. You shouldn't have to use RTV to sell anything. If you do, you're wrong. One of the biggest things this truck had, whenever I received it on the driver's side turbocharger return line was just pouring oil all over the front differential, which told me they did not know what they were doing when they put the turbochargers on. It was just running everywhere, and the customer thought, well, I've got a front differential leak. And I cleaned it up. I reassured him when I found the leak what it was. It's not his differential, it was the turbocharger. You just can't get stuff in correctly and get it torqued correctly while it's in the truck. No matter what you do, no matter how you do it, you're gonna have a leak somewhere. If you don't, you're extremely, extremely lucky. So up next, let's go ahead and get our torque sequence and our torque, and we will torque these head bolts. All right, we've got 5 different steps to our torque sequence per head. Our first sequence is going to be 177 inch-pounds on all the bolts in sequence. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7, and then 8. Same thing to the other head. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we go back to the other side. Our next torque is 26 foot-pounds. And we'll start it up again using our sequence. 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Same thing for the other side. And 8. Now the next 3 sequences is tighten 90 degrees, tighten 90 degrees, and then tighten 45 degrees. Let it calibrate. All right. It's going to be quite interesting. I'm going to move this back. Tell you what, I'm going to move the camera back. So I'm going to have a bit of room to work. So I'm going to go number 1. 2, clear. 'Just tighten our stand down a little bit. So this is going to get a little rough. Three, clear. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Yeah. Same thing for this side. Here. Oh, calibrated. Thanks a lot. One thing about these digital torque wrenches, they'll get you on calibrating. You won't realize it till you start. It has got me more than one time. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 'Back to the other side, 90 degrees again. And 8. Back to the other side. Let's see, is there a better way I could do this? Probably like this. I'm gonna have to. last sequence is 45 degrees. Right. And the same thing for the other side. Okay. We got the main head bolts torqued. Now we lack these two head bolts here, 8 millimeters. Those go down to 89 inch-pounds. Okay, and that completes torquing the heads. Up next, we've got to work on the valve clearances on both heads now that the heads are installed. And that should be pretty easy, hopefully. The valve install heights are the same as they were from factory. I'm going to put the tappet cups back in on both sides, and then we're going to do our measuring with the camshafts installed. Alright, it's time to put the tappets in the head and do the valve clearance checks. First, I'm going to lube up the holes that the tappets go in, make it easier to get them in and out if I've got to. Plus I got to pre-lube them anyway for the engine startup. So what better time to do it than now? You can do the other side. It's a nice, warm, beautiful day today, and I've got the door open to a little air in here. You might notice a little bit extra road noise, more than normal. Can't help it, I live on the side of a main highway. It's just one of those things. Until I get the building insulated and air conditioned, just have to deal with it. We've got everything lubricated. So, start putting the tappets in as they came out. Doing one at a time. Left side intake first. Now, left side exhaust, left to right. So even when lubricated, these are a tight fit. After I get them in there and all the way down, I'll go back and put a little oil over the top of them. Help them out a little bit. That one just don't want to go in there. Right side intake, left to right. Come back to that one. that exhaust. Of course, when you pour yours out, you want to inspect them beforehand. If you see any signs of cupping, which to me is blatantly obvious if they're cupped, you want to go ahead and get rid of that one because it's already worn down. There's our oil mixture here. Little hand pushing it in now. Went a little bit easier with oil. All right, we got them all in. Next thing, we're going to install the camshafts and the camshaft hold downs and do our valve clearance checks. So I'll go ahead and get them on here and then we'll be right back. All right, I've got the cams on the right side in. I get the cam caps, most of them in, just the ones I need in for now. In the interest of time, I'm going to show you how to do this on the first set. That way you'll know how to do it on the rest. There's no reason to do an entire set on both sides. Reason being, it'll take probably another hour, 2 hours of video. And I've already got an explanation on the previous video. The previous videos I did on 11 and 12, the same thing. This is essentially how you do your valve clearance checks. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to torque these down to 89 inch-pounds. I'm not going to do the full torque. I'm just going to do enough to hold the cams down correctly, so we can get an idea. I don't want to wear out the bolt holes and wear out the bolts, because you could easily do that, torquing, retorquing the full amount of torque required. I found that 89 inch-pounds is more than plenty to get the reading that you need. So I've got those 89 inch-pounds. I'm going to take feeler gauge and I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to do my checks. Let's see. So start out with 10 thousandths on intake, slips under just fine, exhaust just fine, this one doesn't go, so we're going to back it up to 9. 9 thousandths. So 9 thousandths will go in there. Kind of hard to do it with this little tube in the way. 9 won't go, so we'll go back to 8. Eight won't go, so that's back up to 7. Now, I believe I just did say that half these valves in these heads were replaced. If the valve heights have changed, the stem heights, then we're going to have to do some changing around on these tappets. 7 didn't fit. Let's see if 6 fits. 6 goes in and goes in real easily. So let's go back up to 7 and check it one more time. May just be a matter of being difficult to get in. 7 doesn't fit, so we're going to put 6 thousandths on that one. Back to 10 on the exhaust. Try 11. Let's see if 11 fits. 11 does not fit on the exhaust on this side, so it's 10 thousandths. Alright. So 10 fit under both the intakes. So we're going to go up to, let's go ahead and hit 11 thousandths on it. 11 thousandths went. Doesn't want to go on this one. So we're going to say that's 10 thousandths. So mark it 0, 1, 0. 11 goes in there. Let's try 12. 12 goes in. 13. 13 barely goes in there, but it goes. 14 probably won't. So 14 won't, so we're going to say it's 13 thousandths. Alright, so you go through, do each and every one of these like this. So what I'll have to do next is unbolt these, rotate the cam until these lobes are pointed up, here and here, bolt it back down, and then do my measurements here. So I get those measurements, unbolt it again, go back, rotate the cam until the lobes are straight up and down here, bolt these down, and take measurements again, and then you'll have all your measurements to go by on your head, marked on your head, so you won't have to put it on paper. So I'll go ahead and get these other two done, and then we'll be right back and we'll see what we got. So here's a real life example of what you're going to run into, especially if you have your heads machined and or valves replaced. Like I said, half of the valves in this engine were bent because the valves at the piston whenever the timing chain jumped. So what we have, our specifications on the intake valves are 6 to 10 thousandths. Can be anywhere between 6 thousandths and 10 thousandths. Well, as you can see, all of the intake valves are outside of spec. Exhaust side, your specifications are 14 to 18 thousandths. So we've got a couple of them, three of them that's in spec, the rest of them are out. So what's going to happen is the cams have got to come back out, And we're going to pull each and every one of these tappets out one at a time, measure them, mark them, measure them with a micrometer, and then we'll have to write it down on paper. We write down every single measurement we get, and then we're going to have to take those measurements, go to the computer, look up on the Ford website which tappet we're going to need to replace the ones we have. So for example, on this one over here, it's 14 thousandths. We're trying to hit a median on all these. So, you know, between 6 and 10 thousandths, that's going to be 8 thousandths. So we're going to try to hit 8 thousandths. So that one's got to be 8 thousandths thinner than what it is. So that's what, 6 thousandths less than we have. You know, 14 thousandths minus 6 thousandths. That's going to hit where we're gonna need it to go. So we'll have to do all this measuring on every single one of them that's out of spec, so we can order the tappets that we need. So, you know, as you can see, this is going to be a long drawn out process on these heads, because, you know, like I said, we have the valves replaced because most of them are bent. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started on that, and then once we get the tappets back in, get them installed, then we'll be able to progress even more with our buildup. But as of right now, at this point, we are at a standstill until we get all these measurements done and get our parts ordered and the parts in. So we're looking at probably another 2 weeks out before we'll actually have this thing installed in the truck, because it's going to take that long just to get the parts in, and then we'll have to do a little work in between to get it ready, you know, and get everything built up so we can go ahead and stab it in the truck. So this is mechanicking, folks, and there's not really anything else you can do about it. If you went with it like it is, and go ahead and put it all together, what you're going to have is a real noisy valve train, especially on the intake side here. On this one, you will have a little bit, you know, it'll sound a little bit normal, but you're out of spec on these three. This one might wear in eventually, but these here, you're running dangerously under spec on these. And I wouldn't suggest that. You may even, you know, it's a possibility you could even punch a valve into a piston. The clearances are so far off on that one. So once we get all this done, we'll be back. Okay, we've got our cam tappets or cam buckets installed, and we've got them all measured. Next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to install the camshafts. Before we install our camshafts and button them down, we need to take the crankshaft and we need to turn it to the 9 o'clock position. That means this dowel in the crankshaft will be at 9 o'clock. We want it dead on just about at 9 o'clock before we proceed to anything else. Next, you're going to need to install the camshaft seals on the end of the camshafts before you do anything else. And like in the previous video I showed you, these are the camshaft seals, and when you put them together they make a rectangle. If you put them together wrong, they don't form that rectangle correctly. So when you put them in, you put them like this. And we're going to do all 8 of them. You want to make sure you put plenty of lube under these, because when you put them in and you lock them down, they're going to be stationary. What we're going to do is pre-lube these areas that they sit and run in. Just put you some assembly grease. this will do to help keep, it will keep them from burning up when you first start the engine while the oil's trying to get to the heads and everything else. Now there is a specific way that these seals install on the camshafts, and a specific position the camshafts must be in before you lock them down. Of course, if you don't do this correctly, you're going to burn the seals up and possibly lose pressure to your phasers. Much needed oil pressure to your phasers. It is imperative that you take the time and do these steps. Otherwise, you know, it might be off or not. It may not run correctly. So let me move the camera and I'll show you the position of the camshafts. Or basically, here's what you'll have to do. On this particular camshaft, your exhaust lobes on the front of the camshaft need to be up. On the top camshaft on the right side, your lobes on the intake in the very back need to be pointed up. When you install your seals, we're going to install them in the 12 o'clock position. The gap must be at the 12 o'clock position. That means if the head's laying flat on the table, you're going to put the seals in. Just 1 second. Clean this off, can't hardly see it. Now, the head's flat on the table, it's perfectly flat. The ends of your seals are going to be right here on this part of the cam. Same thing for this one, this part of the cam. If you get it off a little bit, just rotate it. Some of these you're going to have to look at pretty carefully to see where they slice the seal. Okay, I got these in position. Now I'm going to take both cams out and I'm going to lube the tappets. I'm going to lube the cam journals, everything before I stick it in. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll be right back. Now we're going to torque our cam caps to 71 inch-pounds in sequence and then go back and torque them an additional 45 degrees. So according to our paper, this is number 1. Need to go ahead and run them down, I guess. I'll sit here and just waste time on the video. Just run them down to where they cut. And also a reminder, we have our camshafts on the right hand head in the neutral position. And this is what it shows the neutral position is on the camshafts. This is exactly how we have them on the right head, on the right side head, before we torque. So let's go ahead and torque. One. Our torque wrench went off. Now you have to change the battery on it. Two. Three is the center bolt. Four to be this outside bolt. Check that again, make sure. And five, an inside bolt. Six will be this outside one. Seven. 8 is all the way back here in the back, on the inside. That one's a little bit too tight, we gotta back it off. 9, the outside bolt. 10. 11. 12 is the middle bolt in the center. 13, outer bolt. 14. 15. Now 45 degrees. Set it down and let it calibrate. We're set to 45 degrees. You got to put the new batteries in. It died right in the middle of the video of calibrating. Okay, reset. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. Instructions tells us to go back on the back 4 bolts and loosen these caps back off. And then back in the sequence. I want you to do 71 inch-pounds and 45 degrees again. So we'll do 8, 9, 10, 11, 45 degrees. Okay, we've got the right hand side torqued. Let's go to the left hand side. Next, we're going to take our cap here that fits on the back, right here. This is a little bit different than the 11 and 12. This is where our vacuum pump goes into the back of the head. 11 and 12 does not have this. So we're going to take our cap and we're going to apply some sealer to our clean cap, like so. Just like that. We're going to apply our cap to the head. Put our bolts in. Mess up there. Right, put that cap installed. Now we're going to have to go back to the front. We're going to have to remove this oiling tube. So okay. Now we're going to get our special tool. This is the camshaft holding tools. Can't really do this without it. This is a camshaft holding tool. It's just aftermarket tool. What we're going to do, where we took out our oiling tubes, is where this is going to go in. So what we'll need to do is rotate our camshafts to a new position. This is the position that they want you to rotate them to. You see the pin is almost 45 degrees, and the other pin is at the top, a little different than what we have them at now. So we'll get us a wrench. It's our 1-inch wrench. We're going to rotate our camshafts accordingly. It'll line up these slots here in the camshaft with our holding tool. We'll move this other one straight up, and when they align, the tool will drop right down. Kind of lost this other one. Get one, the other one popped out. Tend to have to wiggle them a little bit sometimes to get them to line up, get the tool in there. There, I've got the tool in. Never put it in backwards. Let's try it the other way. Never had this problem before. It usually falls right in there. There it goes. Now the tool's in there. Just solidly against the head, like so. Bring it around the front, and you see our new position for our camshaft, like in the picture. Dowels, to the side, and the other dowels to the top. Now we're going to torque our camshafts on the left side. Follow our torque sequence, but our sequence is going to be exactly reverse of our opposite head. Go ahead and run these down. Just make it a little bit too tight. All right. So we're going to start here. Number one. Already too tight. Number two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now we're going to do our torque angle, 45 degrees. One, two, 3, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, we got those torqued. Now we're going to do the same thing with this side. Remove the oiling tube. Oh. Ahead of myself. You got to remove these last 4 bolts. Do the same thing we did before. Okay. And we go. Torque, 8. 9, 10, 11, do a torque angle, 'Alright, now we got everything torqued. Now we're going to go back and take out the oil tube, like we did on the other head. Put it over here to the side. 1-inch wrench. And we're going to reposition these cams like so. This is where it's going to be positioned too. This pin's going to be 45 degrees. This pin is going to be just a little bit different, probably a little bit to the left of where it is now. Once we rotate it, not much room in here to get this wrench, let me tell you. Almost there. Got it wrenched up. Another bite. Okay. Now we got our holding tool in there. So we have our position like it shows in the picture. Alright, now we've got the cam caps on both heads done. We've got our cam holding tool installed. I'm going to put a little bit of lube on some of these lobes before we go any further to get them lubed up. Then we can go ahead and move to install the timing chain and all the components to go with it.